Thank you guys for tuning in. The We'll Fix It team. Check this building out. This is another collection of different things. These are going to be all dozers, push vehicles for like push dirt, move different things. In case you're tuning in for the first time and just checking out some cool stuff. But this is part of the collection of this big tractor show I went at, and so videos. I'm going to several of these. So if you're watching this for the first time, go back through the channel and actually look at some of the big tractors I got on here. So anyhow, I really appreciate you guys for tuning in. No further ado, let me flip this camera around. You're gonna see what I hear. Check this out. This, like I said, this is a collection of one man who built all this stuff, and this is a really cool. I can't tell you the years of all these, but I just know that a lot of them are really, really old. And some of the firsties, and a lot of these are still operable. I watched them. They were driving these around earlier today. This is a big Caterpillar. And there's some power units right here. Different things. Big generator right here. Check that out. Caterpillar power unit makes a big power. And there's another big Caterpillar. This is just a PTO. As you can see, it was set up just to run some kind of equipment, whatever it needed to be. But as you can see, if you can see all those pulleys, this was a big unit. This thing made a lot of power. And we'll hit this building up here. This part of the section up here, but there's a really cool scene right here. Well, and I'll walk through it in a second, but we're going to check out some of the bigger stuff right quick. I've watched that one. They had that one out there yesterday. Oh, you got some pork rinds. Yeah, look at that, free pork rinds. Yeah, that's my wife. So here's another cool little. Well, this was a puller. It could have been a plow. It could have been a dozer. It had multiple hookups. Caterpillar. And I wish I could tell you the exact years, but I'm not that knowledgeable. I just know that they're really old and really cool. This one here, as you can see, was bought and just sort of repaired enough to look on display. It doesn't have all the spark plug wires and other things to get it going. And the man that owns all this stuff is not with us anymore. But I'm good friends with the family, and we all try to hold this stuff together. Like I said, you can check out some other videos. The Farm Raw video, the Farm Raw building, actually, you can see who the guy was. I did a video on that. It's about 3/4 of the way through. You can see the guy and who he was and how this all happened. But here's another cool little case bulldozer. Look at that. Isn't that neat? Look at the little push blade on it. It's so cute. It still works too. Somebody was running this thing. They had to use it to probably pull it out. And then you got that neat little thing. It's another case, I think. And this one here is quite odd in itself. I see that there's some big wires coming out of it, so I need to see what actually made. I think this thing has some kind of generator on it. I think I've got to ask a buddy of mine how that works and all. There's a big welder on the back, so I don't. Some of the stuff I'm not quite exactly 100% knowledgeable on. I really like looking at it though and seeing it run. But and here's an Oliver, an old cleat track is what they call it, because the track's got it was probably ahead of its time with the rubber tracks, because now everything's went to that. And here's that neat little water cooled engine on it. Look at that big that right there was I guess a pan, or what we see now would be a backhoe, and it's steam operated. That's a big boiler right there. It says driller, so it was probably used for some kind of. It's got a scoop on it. Another cleat track. Yeah, that was for moving a lot of dirt, or scooping coal or something along the lines of that. There's so much stuff in here I can't go all around. That was, look at the big huge motor on it though. That was the gas burner right there. And then you've got a Fordson. And what you guys, that's the actual ignition module. That's what fires off the spark plugs. It's like a Model T would use something similar to that. Another John Deere and Fordson. big steam shovel. How you doing? Alex Chambers. Maybe you guys would like to see this cool front end loader. Look at that. Oliver. Another really cool big steam looking shovel, or not steam, it's gas powered, but big shovel. McCormick. This is an Oliver. This one's a diesel model, it says here. Like I said, another Oliver. I actually remember this thing being used. This thing would dig trenches. Move dirt. Look at all the gears. Look at that. There's so much stuff going on here. But from the looks of it, this one V-belt hooks it all up. So people laugh at my motorcycle for having a V-belt going to my final drive. Well, then here you have it. Here's a looks like probably a 5-horse hit and miss. Maybe a 10, maybe. It might be a 5-horse, 10-horse maybe. Running all this to run down to your gear reduction right here. This would be your transmission. You could change these, change your final drive ratio. There's your drive module. This is a module. This is your drive box. And you can switch right here for forward and reverse. That was how that works. And of course you've got everything, the tracks right here. Had wooden cleats on it, and then you're running all your power back over here to this other part from your PTO off of your differential, and to drive your scoop. This thing right here would dip down, and you'd use that thing to scoop up dirt, pretty much. But isn't that a monstrosity of conglomeration to make all that stuff actually work? Off of that little bitty 5, or maybe, maybe a 10-horse hit and miss. I don't know, but they do have actually enclosed crankcase, which is kind of neat. They were coming up, and they said this thing's going to be near dirt, so that can't. That's a no-go. And here's another little scoop right here, and it ran off a PTO. Had a big belt that would be turning it, and then. This some more power horse and cleat tracks. All those gears and changes, just so cool. And here's a small mini crane here, or side boom. What they would call this here is a side boom. This thing can swing over side to the side, and it was used to help. Well, I've seen people actually use them to put train cars back on track. Some of your smaller ones, and it's heavy enough you can do that. In some of your smaller applications. Here's another puller right here. There's your PTO, and big huge hit and miss motor in there. Kind of reminds you of those big single cylinder tractors. I think that's what this is, but it's not that model though, where it's got the big huge, I forget what they call it, but a big huge one cylinder motor. And to put it in reverse, you crank it up backwards. It doesn't have, it's a 2-stroke, burns anything. Kerosene, diesel, you have to hit, you heat the head of it up. And the head gets real hot, and that's your ignition. I forget the name of those. Help me out in the comment section. And check this out. I'm putting the coal back here. This is some kind of steam roller. I guess you would use that to be rolling stuff out. I lost my wife. She was in here. I think she fell asleep. She probably went somewhere and went to sleep. Let's see here. Yeah, big steamroller. Ka-chunk, ka-chunk. There's the engine right here. Or the steam engine. It's a twin cylinder steam engine. Looks like probably a 15 horse, 20 horse, maybe something like that. I mean, that's a pretty big boiler. 10 horse, at least 10 horsepower, which is a lot. I mean, it's a whole different scenario when you're working with this kind of dynamics. Horsepower is a different thing. You know, these move straight up and down, and your crankshaft is right there. It doesn't hook onto the bottom and go up into the that piston stays straight, and you work in twin cylinder. So this thing can work in 4 directions. It's pushing when one cylinder, like in a steam engine, when you apply pressure to it, one cylinder is pushing in, and the other one is pushing forward. Like, you know, so in other words, you're getting 2 power strokes out of one cylinder. You can't do that with a gas motor. You know, it'd be neat if you could do that. If you think about it, you could seal it up and put a spark plug on both ends and use the same scenario, but the RPMs of that would be, yeah, anyway. So yeah, you get a lot of power out of a diesel, because, I mean, out of a steam engine, because you can push just as much as you push down. So it's pushing this one in, it's putting steam forward on that, it's pushing that one in. It's, you know, so you're really getting a lot of power out of all that. I was fascinated with that stuff. And so we'll walk around, and we'll walk back through that neat little case. I don't know where my wife went though. She's got a big neat looking shovel. Oh. This is a neat little scene. I remember when this was all getting built though, but what you don't what people, excuse the echo in here, but the collection is actually out of a lot of these toys you won't see anymore. They're actually kind of rare. The bridge is kind of level. They're getting there. They're getting it. Next year they may have it. There's some cool vintage tools, and those are big friction discs that went into something, I do believe. I think they went into some of those big loaders, but a bunch of Caterpillar parts right here. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Boom. That's kind of neat. Another Caterpillar. Look at that, it runs off, I do believe, a big Kohler. I think that's a big Kohler motor. It's kind of a neat little get it done machine. You could have fun with that for a long time. Pretty soon that'll be $100 worth of coal right there. Look at that. Now, working steam model right there. You can actually work it. Oh. There's another, like I'm not sure exactly the functionality of that model, but that would be a well driller, what that looks like. So yeah, so let me flip real quick, guys, and I really appreciate all you guys. Oh, check this out. Wait, look at that. Big neon. I should have shown y'all guys that. Man, didn't even get that in there. I was about to sign off and not get that in there. Oh, guys. So, oh, check this little model out. Isn't that neat? Got a little 5-horse motor running it. It actually functions. I want to see this thing operational. Hopefully tomorrow we'll get to see it. But yeah. Anyway, so there's Sweetheart, and we're gonna surround. I really appreciate you guys for tuning in the Will Fix It team. Goodbye, y'all. Yeah. All right. Thank y'all guys. Have a wonderful rest of the day, and we are out. Oh, and you know, if these videos are funny, I'm gonna put them all together as one. Like, you know, this will be one long video if a man wants to watch this whole, or a person wants to watch this whole video. I'll put it all together as one, but I'll do individual segments. You know, that way you can kind of roll along through it if you don't want to watch the whole thing. So thank you again. Lots of love. I'm out.